welcome back to another episode of the Chap Chat podcast. Wow, this interview, I always say I'm looking forward to the interview, but I'm really, really looking forward to this interview. We have Kane and Kelly with us as our guest today. Man, I have so many questions, and I don't know how to introduce you guys except to say that when I first heard your music, I stopped, and I couldn't go beyond that until I heard almost everything you guys had out.
Oh, wow. That's great. Thank you.
So, man, I mean, again, so many questions. I know a lot of people that you all know. It seems like I actually found you. I had Randy Fincham on as a guest, and he told me about, oh, hey, my radio show on tonight. I have these really great folks, Kane and Kelly, and I said, oh, okay, well, I'll listen, and I did, and that was the beginning of that, and man, I just I want to hear everything you guys can possibly tell me about yourself.
Well, we'll start out by giving you our first names. I'm Jennifer Kane, and
I'm Bill Kelly.
he's Bill
Okay.
Kelly.
Okay.
And I told her that $20 was slipping to Randy Fincham would come up, and it worked.
Right.
Randy's amazing.
We love Randy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Where did we met Randy through?
Ascend.
Ascend
Yeah.
Music and Media.
Ascend Music,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
We had a writer's night there one night, and that's when we met him.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
we were startled by his songs were so good.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he came right up to us and immediately started to chat with us. So there was an immediate connection with Randy. And then, a while later, he talked about the show that he wanted us to do and so forth. And it's just been, friendship building after that. So.
I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you like to know about us?
Well, not to bring up age or anything, but I think you've been at the music business for a while, right? So
He must be talking about you.
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
She's a baby.
right.
I'm not so much.
I have been in the music industry since I was about 15 years old, and
And how old are you?
Do you remember a
Oh,
song?
he skipped right over that, didn't he?
Yeah, he skipped it. I can say it though. He has a birthday coming up.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're not gonna
okay.
talk about that.
Good deal.
But I had a hit record when I was just about 20 years old, and it was called Timothy.
Oh,
And
right.
it was back in
No, go ahead and just say it.
Okay.
I'm going to tell them how old you are.
She used to be a wonderful partner. No, it was 1971 when I had my first hit record. It was called Timothy. It was written by my friend Rupert Holmes,
Right.
whose real name is not Rupert Holmes, by the
Of
way.
course.
Anyway, that was it. That's really what started. And of course, the Beatles absolutely started. 64.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them on the Ed Sullivan Show, and that was it. I was toast. There was no other career path for me but music.
Right.
And I've been blessed with a wonderful career. I've played or recorded with people like Chicago, toured with Queen, Bob Seger, golly, a bunch of people, and just toured all over the country
Wow.
several times.
Mm-hmm.
Then moved to Nashville back in '90, and got into doing country music and played for the great Charlie Louvin for many years,
Wow.
and played the Grand Ole Opry a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the mix of that, at church, I met this wonderful gal, and I loved her voice.
Right.
I'm trying. Sorry, I didn't let you talk about you
No,
yet.
go ahead.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because
No.
I want to talk about how I found you.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to go for it. We were at church in a very large, a good-sized church, big
Mm-hmm.
choir, and I was just standing in the background playing guitar, minding my own business.
Right.
And I heard this gal sing, and I went up to her and I said, "I love your voice. Would you consider singing a song with me?"
Uh-huh.
And she said yes. We put together a song. one song with just acoustic guitar
Mm-hmm.
and voices, and we had 500 people standing for I don't know how long, a standing ovation. And we came off the side of the stage and we looked at each other and said, "This is church. Is this supposed to be happening?" It was just great. But Brian, from then on, there was something about the blending of our voices
Mm-hmm.
that just hit us, and I think we both saw the same thing at the same time. It's like there's something going on here. We need to, keep exploring this and see what God has planned. And that was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What we didn't expect to get from it was a friendship like we have.
Right.
Yes. As much as the music is, that she and I are just
We're besties.
we're besties.
So
We-
17 years,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and you have
Almost 18.
so and then you have 2 albums out.
We do. We actually had another one. We had an EP out. I don't think it's out anymore. We need to look into that. But the very first thing we did was put out an EP of 5 songs. They were just covers,
Right.
Because we didn't start writing our own music until about 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We just did covers.
Right.
Mm.
We did covers, and there's something somewhere along doing the covers. We just said, there's why do we doing other people's music? And in my career, I had been the lead singer of the band,
Mm-hmm.
the songwriter of the band,
Right.
with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
So I just assumed, here's this gal who's brand new to the industry and so forth, and all of a sudden, what came out of her lyrically was just amazing.
I have to agree with that.
I just pretty much
Thank you.
I just pretty much say, I'm going to do music and help with the lyrics where I'm needed, but otherwise I'm going to stay out of it because you're so good.
Mm-hmm.
And she has such a way with lyrics, and most of the time she'll bring a lyrical thing to me, and I have to think about it for a minute. And when I think about it, it hits me, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Wow.
And we get.
Or I don't really see it because it's not anything that I've grown up doing. It's just I've always loved music ever since I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And when you're a kid, what you want to be when you grow up is a singer. When you're
Right.
a girl,
Yeah.
I just grew up in church and youth group, and I sang in the youth choir, and then into the adult choir, and did a few solos here and there, but not a whole lot. And that's really the only background that I have in music. So writing music was not even on my radar. I didn't really know how to do it. Now the whole reason we moved to Nashville, I'm originally from Michigan, was my dad was a songwriter. So
Mm-hmm.
where do you go when you're a songwriter? You move to Nashville.
Yeah.
Which is what we did. And he wrote several songs that it never really got anywhere. He had some demos done by some people who are well known now. Billy Dean and Joe Diffie did some of the demos,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he never got them. He never kind of got past a certain point with it. He was a
Gotcha.
restorative, worked a lot, long hours and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of had that connection with my dad. We both loved music. I'd sit in his in-home studio and listen to all his stuff, and
Right.
he'd always want my opinion on it. He passed away 12 and a half years ago.
Wow.
So it's kind of something, for me, I felt the Lord really telling me recently. I've always known that Bill and I had a great friendship. Bill is my father's age. If you can believe that, I'm going to go ahead now and tell you how old he is, because the coincidence of the fact that Bill's in my life, I lost my dad 4 years after we met, I think.
About that.
I think the Lord was kind of weaving this friendship in for that purpose. I really do. Bill's birthday is a week and a half before my dad's birthday. And they're both the same age. So he is about to be 70.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of talent built up in it, right?
I'll go ahead and say my age is, I'm 43. So I'm not going to be shy about that.
I got you. Okay. Wow.
So I like to hang with the younger ones.
Right. And they keep you young, don't they?
They keep me young. I told somebody on Facebook that this morning. Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
So, so your Jennifer, your collision, I guess, 17 years ago with Bill, it wasn't anything than just, singing in the choir and, hey, let's do a song together. And then why in the world did you guys wait, 15 years or 14 years before you ever recorded anything?
You're right. You know what? We've always from the very beginning have been in prayer for what it is that the Lord wants us to do with our music. And until we really heard clearly from him, we just knew that we were supposed to be singing together no matter what it was, whether we were singing at home in the studio or we were just, we'd been recording stuff for a long time, just privately, you know what I mean? And not putting it out there just because it was something we enjoyed so much. But we've really always followed the Lord's lead. We never wanted to get ahead of him. And,
well, that's odd.
Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll notice with me, I lose my train of thought really quickly. But
she's DDT.
We just didn't want. We didn't want it if it's not what the Lord wanted for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. You just don't hear it very often these days.
Yeah.
And you know what we did in the meantime, we both felt that there was something going on because and I don't mean to compare us to John Lennon and Paul McCartney, but that when you heard those two guys sing together, something special happened.
Right.
Well, we felt that whenever we sang together, something special happened. Didn't know what it was, but we knew one thing is that we really liked it.
Yeah.
And we would record at my house. I had this little box, a Zoom recorder thing, and we would just record. We would buy tracks. And I'd record the track. Remember that? We'd do tracks and sing to that because we really loved hearing what our voices sounded like.
Right.
And doing songs that we were familiar with. And personally, I have had such a fascination with her voice anyway. I have always just absolutely loved the way she sounds, the way her inflections, the nuances. I'm a singer, so I listen to the nuances. And
he's also a producer too, so he comes at it from so many different angles,
right?
That I don't,
right?
So he's really been the greatest mentor for me because he's the one who's really pushed me a lot. He's pushed me out of my comfort zone a ton of times.
You think that was good?
Which I think a lot of, if we're being honest here, I think a lot of the holdback on some of the stuff was on my part because I'm not the in the spotlight kind of person. I'm more of the background, keep me in the background kind of person. So it's just, it's uncomfortable for me to put myself out there. And so had to really pray through that a lot, just, for the Lord to give me the courage and I had the want to, I just have a lot of nerves that go along with it too. So.
Well, see, that's what actually captivated me about you all's music as well. I mean, that's funny that you guys bring it up, but I mean, I've been singing since I was 5, and always in church, and then I was a pastor for a while, and my son and we've sung together for 10 years. So I mean, but like you said, it's just at church and something we really enjoy. But I did travel with some people for a while that they did music on the road, but the harmony, you guys, your harmony is so, oh my! When I first heard it, I told my wife, I went and got her and said, "Hey, you got to listen to this." And I said, I knew nothing about you guys, but the way your harmony hit together and so mingled, I said, they have got to be family. That has got to be like, father, daughter, or uncle. It's got to be family some way because you just don't get that kind of harmony. And
well, you know what? I'll tell you what, Brian. I've, as a singer, in my youth, said the Beatles were my influence personally, and who better than the Beatles? So, harmony.
Right.
The Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
The Lubin Brothers. Oh my gosh,
Right.
there's fancy harmony for you.
Yeah.
But
and where you came from too with Jerry.
Oh yeah, I had
his old partner.
Yeah,
oh
my old partner from my band, The Boys, Tennessee, and after that, the band was called Dakota.
Right.
I had a singing songwriting partner named Jerry Ludwig, and he passed away recently. But he and I had a blending of voice, and I learned really how to blend from my perspective. Because I could easily stand out in harmony rather than blend.
Oh.
I have a sharp tenor voice, and it can be very powerful. And but Crosby, Stills, and Nash, the Eagles, the Beatles.
Yep.
That was my influences. I learned listening to David Crosby from the Byrds and Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Sure.
He's a master at harmony. He's a master at blending, like no one ever. That's where I learned how to blend. And when I heard Jenny's voice, I said, "Oh man, I can hear this in my head. I can hear it." and when we sang together, oh man, it was tingles. It was like chill bumps everywhere. And it's been that way ever since. Even now, when we wrote the song "The Storm," our first songwriting, the first song we wrote together was the song "The Storm."
Really?
It's on the first album. Yeah, and that's one of those songs. I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now. Every time we do that song, we get chills. We look at each other with that knowing eye that says, chill bump? Yep, chill bump.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs. I remember doing it at a coffee house. And the two of us were singing and playing and at this coffee house, and for whatever reason we both looked up at the same time. In the audience there were people standing with hands raised worshiping
to
this song, and we're like, whoa,
wow,
that's the story. And you know what, Brian, that's the sort of stuff that's been happening on over and over and over for the last couple of years now, and leading us and prompting us.
And that's the first song. That's the first song we put out to radio. We have two songs out right now, but it charted pretty fast.
Oh yeah, it went from like 77 to 50 to 30, and then number one.
And then it's been a year, and it's still out there.
Oh, it's still
charting.
Yeah, several different charts. As our second single to radio, "Written in Red," is climbing the charts. The other one, "The Storm," is coming down the charts, and then just when you think it's coming down the charts, a new chart comes out and it's going up.
Wow!
I keep saying this song has legs of its own.
And the whole chart thing is a whole nother.
Oh yeah.
We're like, we never knew what genre we were. We knew we were Christian, but we knew we weren't considered probably contemporary Christian. So when we heard the category they put us in was Christian country, we're like, oh hey, I can see that.
That'll work.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll take that.
Right. Wow. Man, well, see, that's another thing that you brought up that I've always good music is chill bumps. If I get chill bumps, that's good music. And man, you guys did both. It was like stop me in my tracks, give me chill bumps, and then the longer I listened, it was then the lyrics really just, oh my goodness, it was just. It's the perfect. The storm. It's the perfect storm. I mean, it's just it's wonderful. So, well, you guys could actually possibly sing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now?
Right now?
Well, I mean,
yeah. Sure.
I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you, if you can, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them about the new baby.
Yeah, I just happen to have a brand new Taylor.
Oh, right.
He was way overdue for a new guitar.
Nice.
Now, you mentioned the song that you liked. It was a song that was actually written by a dear friend of ours.
Yeah, we didn't write Fruit.
Pardon?
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you.
His name is Bobby Hayden Jr. He wrote it with a friend of his, Lexi Laconi. And he came over to the house one night and he said, "You got to hear this song. I hear this. Just finished this song and I hear you guys. I hear you guys singing it."
He kept talking about y'all's harmony.
Yeah, harmony. Yeah. I hear y'all's harmony. So he played it for us, played a little demo for us, and we just
fell in love with it.
we did. It was chill bumps. So here we are. So
it's on our latest album.
It is. Yeah. Right. It's on the latest album. It's called "Grow My Roots."
Awesome.
I don't know what the full title is. We just call it Roots.
I call it Roots.
Yeah, that's a great title.
I don't know how this is going to sound for you, but we'll give it our best.
Hey, why don't we do this? Since the sound or the quality of the sound doesn't sound like it's going to be that great, let me just play the song, because, man, I would hate for them to miss the amazing vocals and harmony and sound that you guys have. So let's just listen to that.
Grow my roots deep down into Jesus. See my branches entangled by your vine. Your will be done, prayed by your Son. I pray your will to be mine. Grow my roots deep down into Jesus. See my branches entangled by your vine. Your will be done, prayed by your Son. I pray your will to be mine. Born in a manger to hang on a tree, died on a cross for all to believe, cleansed by your blood for all eternity. Sent was the Savior for you and for me. Grow my roots deep down into Jesus. See my branches entangled by your vine. Your will be done, prayed by your Son. I pray your will to be mine. I pray your will to be mine.
So when I first heard that song, I actually was going through your music, and then I went on I think it was the Kane and Kelly Facebook page, and then I went and looked at your live and listened to that song as well. And every time I heard it, it was, I mean, it just spoke to my soul just a little more. And wow, what a song! Now you guys write pretty much all your own songs now, right? Or am I off?
Yes.
There?
Now we do, yeah. And actually, the cool thing is I several months ago went to my mom's house and wanted to go through some of my dad's old songs and lyrics. And he wrote mostly country, but he was also a believer, so he had just a handful. I would say maybe 5 or less songs that were, you could say they were Christian type songs.
Right.
And one of the songs is actually on our album called "Hear My Silence," but we just found another one. So what we did is we kept on "Hear My Silence" the lyrics the same. So we didn't change anything. It was written by my dad, and we just changed the music to it.
Wow.
And we're currently working on another one, that we're doing the same thing too. So it's pretty exciting.
That's neat right there.
Yeah.
Now that you know what I mean. I'm still alive, but my son, I wrote a song like right after my dad died, and it's just special to me. It's not really special to anybody else. It's just one of those songs, right? But my son, he has gone light years ahead of me as far as talent, and he did his own version of that song, and he sent that to me. I don't know, it was 4 o'clock in the morning one morning, and he sent that to me. I can't tell you what that made my heart do. I mean, it was just amazing. So you doing that with your dad's music, that's trust me, that's very special.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Wow.
I feel it. I feel it is very, it's just deep down. There's just a huge desire to do it. And Bill, he's great with the music for it. I mean, Bill just can start doodling, and then I'm just like, oh, wait, do that again. He's like, oh, really?
Well,
and so he'll do it again. And most of the stuff that he just doodles sticks with me, and I can start singing to it. And we just have a great connection with the way he plays and what I can hear from it.
Which one did we just do where I sent you the music and you hadn't even written the lyrics yet?
Oh, what was that?
Was it Shine? It was Shine.
It was Shine.
Yeah, I did. Well, sometimes when she and I aren't together, and I'm just kind of in the studio alone, I doodle. I learned a long time ago that doodling can be priceless.
Right.
So I'm doodling, and this thing came along, and it just felt really good. And I recorded a section of it, and I sent it to Jennifer, and gosh, the next day she said, "I've got lyrics for that song that you sent me last night," and it was like, okay,
wow.
Yeah,
we connect. I can't tell you how well we connect. It's just it's beyond words.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's God.
It really is. It really is. And see, that's the thing that I think I connected with and keyed on. I mean, I'm as you can kind of tell, I'm a little bit of a music person. I love music. It just kind of runs in me,
Yeah.
But to have the reaction that I had to you all's music, my wife was like, "Are you?" Because I was so like overwhelmed because there's just something so special about it, and like, what was you're talking about the way Bill plays, right?
Yeah.
I was so well. I love the mellow sound for one. That just it really connects with me as well. But after I kind of got into the music a little bit and was listening and re-listening, then I started, saying, okay, now, because I'd been kind of keying on the harmony and the lyrics because they were so good. And then I was like, wait a second, 90% of these songs just have like an acoustic rhythm going with them. And I thought, how in the world did they pull this off? And you can't even tell.
That is something.
That's my genius.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's
that's
got
something from the very beginning of when we started doing music together was what drew us together. We both loved just the sound of the acoustic and voices because it strips everything away.
It
and all
does.
you can do, all you have left to do is really listen to what the singer is saying.
Right.
And that's what we really love about doing just acoustic stuff, and it just it's powerful.
Every now and then we'll add another instrument because it just kind of would be the right thing to do, like a piano. We'll have a friend of ours that do the piano. We have another friend who plays fiddle for us. But that's pretty much it. The harmonica you hear is me.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty terrible, but it did. But it's me.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes back to the first time we sang together. To this day, there's nothing more powerful than to hear our voices with just a guitar.
Mhm.
It seems to be that's where we need to be.
Right.
So that's where that's
And I think just for me and like deep within me, just an acoustic. Like I'm part of worship at my church,
Right.
and when we do just acoustic sets, I mean, there's just something so magical to me about an acoustic set. Yeah, it's just so beautiful.
It is. So, and then that leads me back to the lyrics. Now, you cannot possibly write lyrics like that without the Holy Spirit just in you, talking to you, giving you the next word, and having one of those daily kind of relationships with God that is so rare.
Yeah.
And
that is
tell me how your faith, your walk with God connects with your lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Big question, huh?
That is very deep. And I am so not a deep thinker. Oh, God.
A lot deeper than
this is why Bill is usually the talker
of
the two of us, because he's got it going on when it comes to that. Really and truly, I just live an everyday life, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to God a lot throughout the day.
Right.
When I'm prompted by the Holy Spirit is usually when the words come. I can't just sit down and write. I've never been able to do that. When I've tried to do it, it drives me crazy. I get upset. I get frustrated, and then I just want to be like, why am I doing this? This doesn't work.
That's another reason why we don't really go out to pursue writing with other people. We would rather get together when the Spirit moves us to be together.
Okay.
And we have things that are starting to come with this. If she starts coming with lyrics, then let's get together.
Right.
And then we get together, we get the lyrics, and then we add the music.
And a lot of times, though, I mean, it really kind of depends. Like, the storm kind of happened. It was very organic, and it didn't take a really long time to write. But Written and Read, on the other hand, that one we started. We thought we had the greatest idea, or the Lord gave us the greatest idea, and then we were stuck, and we could not finish that song, and we were so frustrated. We literally put it away for a year and a half,
at least a year and a half.
Wow!
And got it back out just this year when I just really felt it's just a nudging I get. It's just this deep desire. I just get that feeling like you've got to do this. You've got to do it now.
Wow.
And
I was just thinking about it. This funny too, how our roles have become, where she's into the lyrics and I work on the music.
Mm-hmm.
That song, Written and Read, didn't have enough good lyrics. It had no real music to it for a year and a half. Yet something about the idea and the message of the song was so strong, it would not let us go. And when we were both ready, when she was ready to knock out the lyrics, and I was ready to bring the music to the table, that's when it happened. Not a minute before.
Wow.
It happened when it was ready. And when we got back together on the song, she jumped right at the lyrics. I jumped right at the music, and it just came out like nothing. Yeah. So easy. It was
but yeah. Most of the time, it literally is just the Holy Spirit speaks to me, and I hear Him. I hear Him very clearly, and I have to stop what I'm doing, and I have to, write it down, or it'll go away forever, and I will never think of it again. But just a lot of life issues, I think, kind of spark ideas in me. Bill might have a song title that has come to his mind, and that happened with what song? You had the song. You had the idea.
Wasn't it Written and Read?
No. It was one off of our second album, I believe. You had the idea of Follow You or something. It was one of those songs, but he had the idea, and I kind of tossed it around in my mind for a while, and then one morning I got up and went outside. I remember I sat out on my back porch and with a pad of paper and a pen, and I was like, and it just all came to me at one time. And I sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was thinking." So that's usually how it happens. Yeah.
So really, what I hear you guys saying is, we wait on God's timing, and then at the same time, we're waiting on hearing His voice, and He just gives it to us.
Always, we always, and we try to. Our common goal is to never get ahead of God, and so in everything, in every aspect of what we do, what we work on, we try to reflect it from that, how we feel.
And you realize that these are right here, the two of the most impatient people on the planet, and we are always bringing she's always reeling me back in, or I'm reeling her back in.
It's usually me reeling him back in.
Like I said,
and that's just from his background of music. He's used to a different type of,
I want the tour bus, Brian. I want the tour bus.
You know what?
I'm ready for the tour bus.
Well, I think it's coming. I mean, oh my goodness.
You probably mentioned that already.
It's funny. Every time, we live in Nashville, so we see tour buses all the time. And whenever I see a gaggle of tour buses at the Kroger waiting for the van to get picked up, I take pictures and I send them to Jen,
And I just roll my eyes.
She rolls her eyes, and it's an inside joke. One day, somebody had pulled into the Walmart parking lot with one of those old school buses from the 60s, painted in psychedelic colors. I sent that to her. You got to giggle.
That is funny. Yeah. Well, back to God's timing, right? Oh, goodness. Man, there's just everything that you guys have told me is exactly what I thought had to be happening. Because there's just no way. I mean, Bill, with your history in music, I mean, what you said about, you purposely blending the harmony versus, just belting it out there. And okay, that's talent that you've used and learned over time. But what you guys have together and what I hear coming out, that's why I had so many questions, because I thought, man, this has got to be God.
There's no other explanation.
Yeah.
Every time we turn around and something happens, we look at each other. It's God thing. There it is.
Because I feel like if it has to be forced, then it's not right.
Right. Well, that's true.
That's the kind of the way we've talked about it. If nothing ever comes from this other than what we've done, then we have to accept that, and we have to be okay with it, because that's what we've been given from God. So that's kind of where we are with it.
Yeah. You know what? That's not completely just you guys. I had in fact, the music that we started the show off with, that's we call him Peter Mac, but that's Peter McDougall, and he's kind of in the same boat you guys are in. I mean, he's ready for the tour bus,
Right.
He has been talking about that for several years now, where he's just saying, well, God, I'm just waiting on you. And I mean, he did a great album, came down to Nashville, had it recorded, and man, it's kind of the same thought process with you all's music. It's just there's the whole album is just, I can just put it on loop, and you guys' album is the same. That's the only two artists that I can do that with, where I can every single song, it just speaks to my spirit, and either encourages me or says, oh, my goodness, God, thank you so much, or whatever the song is. It's just you guys and his. And so I guess I would just encourage you to just keep with that mindset, because it would be such a loss for musically for everyone that is blessed by your music if all of a sudden it was, well, we didn't get the bus and
Yeah.
so we're not going to do it anymore.
Right. When it becomes about us, then it stops blessing people. And our whole purpose for what we do and what we love so much is we hope that it touches people and it reaches people and it blesses people, and they can, they feel God's presence when they hear it. That's really all we want.
Yeah. Man. So, you said you had a couple songs out before, and then now you had the album out. So you have those two, and where can people get your music?
Everywhere. Spotify, the whole streaming network stuff. iTunes, right?
Amazon Music. I mean, all of the online streaming sites. You can get them. We also have hard copies. If people don't do the streaming, we have hard copies of our latest one, and we might have a few of our first.
Yes, we have a couple from the first album.
But if anybody wants a hard copy, they can go to our Kane and Kelly Facebook page and message us, and we will mail one out to you.
Okay, so your Facebook page, that's your online presence. So what?
Yes.
What do people search for that?
I believe it's just Kane and Kelly. Yeah.
Facebook page, right.
Kane and Kelly Facebook. On Instagram, I believe it's Kane and Kelly Music.
Okay. All right.
On Instagram, yeah.
And so to get a hard copy, they just send you guys a message, and you'll take it from there.
They can just send a direct message through Facebook or Instagram, and give us an address, and we'll be more than happy to mail one to them.
Good deal. Okay. I actually found you guys on iTunes, and but I'm still going to get a hard copy. I'm a little old school that way.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them that still want hard copies, and that's why we order them, because we know that not everybody likes to do the whole streaming stuff.
Yeah, it's convenient, but it's almost like I love listening to audio books, but if it's a really good book, I'm getting a hardback.
Right, exactly. Authentic.
Yes, exactly. So what are you guys working on right now?
Oh,
hymns. Yeah. We're putting together an album of hymns, just several hymns that are favorites of ours, as well as, several months ago we did a poll and asked people to send in suggestions, and we had quite an outpouring of suggestions for hymns. Mm-hmm. So we are about almost halfway through recording that album.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to just be classic, pretty much classic hymns.
And just pretty much acoustic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I throw a drum track on, she slaps my hand.
That is one thing I noticed. I interviewed a very old preacher yesterday, and I was talking about you guys' music because it's just stuck in my head. But that's what I told him, that I said it's all acoustic, and I said if you listen really hard, I said you might hear a piano, you may hear a little thump of a bass, just keeping time, and I said maybe a drum, but it's so well mixed you can't even hear it.
Now you're giving him a big head.
Oh, I see. That's funny.
He wears many hats.
Man,
he's a great producer.
So, I looked that up as well. So it's Bill Kelly Music Productions. Is that the producing side of it?
Yes, it is.
And do you just do you two, or do you have other people you produce?
Right now, we are so busy. I've done several other projects for people since I opened my studio about 2 years ago. But we've just, to be honest, we just have gotten swamped.
Know the feeling.
And I haven't really had the chance to really pursue any other clients. But I'm open to do it. It's a matter of arranging the time. And I love working on other projects too, because they give me a different perspective on production.
Sure.
I learned production from a an incredible genius, a gentleman named Humberto Gatica,
Mm-hmm.
and he did all of Michael Jackson's big hits,
Oh,
Thriller
wow.
and Billie
Mm.
Jean and all that. And he's a good friend, and he worked on my last Dakota project back in the day.
Wow.
But I learned so much from him just watching that I hope I bring a little bit of something creative and good to the table for clients when they come into the studio. And, anything that I can't play, I've got some wonderful, this is Nashville. I have some other wonderful talented people that play piano, fiddle,
Right.
electric guitar,
Why?
sorts
Wow.
of things. So yeah, that's my love. I love to produce and make music in the studio.
So on this new album that you guys are working on, I'm assuming that's going to be a hymns album.
Yes.
So are you going to put any of your music on there, or is it just the old classics, or what are you thinking?
Well, there is going to be one, and it was one that I wrote several weeks ago.
Really? Fresh off
was-
the press.
Maybe, it was longer. Maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
Not that long ago.
So
Time's fun when you're having flies.
I know you're probably trying to wrap this up. So
Oh, no, you're good. You take as
I'll
much
make
time
this
as you'd like.
A quick story. So he's laughing at me before I even say anything. I felt the nudging of the Holy Spirit,
Mhm.
pushing us toward a hymn album, and I brought it up to Bill, and he sounded less than excited about a hymns album, and I was like, well, I really thought this was a great idea.
It was kind of like, yeah, great idea, Jen. What are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
Let's go out.
Until no, so I felt like so we kind of got challenged by a co-writer, Corey Lee Barker.
Uh-huh.
He co-wrote "It's All Gonna Be All Right," which is the title of our newest album.
Right.
He challenged us to write a hymn song when we put the poll out there for people, and so Bill and I were talking about it, and I said, I really feel like, is the Lord telling me? I really felt like the Lord was telling me that I needed to write a hymn. How do you write a hymn? I know how you write a hymn.
Huh.
So Bill started asking questions
Uh-huh.
to some friends, and I'll let you take it from here because
Yeah.
magic happened.
I called a friend of mine who's a worship leader, and I said, man, I've got this thing that don't want to mess it up. How does one approach writing a hymn? And he said, if I was going to give you a suggestion, he said that I would spend a lot of time in songs, not so much to lift lyrics,
Right.
but to catch the color and the tone and the feel of what a hymn is.
What great advice.
And I was like, okay, I think I get that.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I started working, and it's one of those. It's not every song is like this, but this song was like this, where it just came. The lyrics just, as fast as the pen could move, the lyrics came. The melody instantly came with the guitar. I did a recorded version, a little demo version, and sent it to Jen, and she liked it.
I loved it. I was blown away. I was like,
Wow.
I listened to it probably 5 or 6 times in a row with my jaw to the floor, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe he just wrote this! Like,
Wow.
just wrote it. It's
Wow.
beautiful, and it's actually on our
The
current album, our new album. But because it's a hymn, we're going to also add it to our hymns album as well.
it's called "Closer to You."
Closer to Thee.
Closer to Thee.
Wow, man. So you normally don't do the lyric part of it, and then all of a sudden the hymn that you don't want to do just
Right,
you get
exactly.
you get hammered with
So-
it.
Yeah.
That's part of the Lord's humor.
Yeah.
That shares with us sometimes. I'm like, okay, I see what's happening now.
Oh,
He
that
had
is
other plans.
He needed to give this to Bill, so Bill would have a different outlook, I think, on doing a hymns album. And ever since that point, he was super excited about doing a hymns album. So, Thank you, Jesus, for that
no
one.
kidding.
Thank you, Jennifer.
So do you guys want to end up with a song?
Love to.
You want to do storm? We could do the storm.
We can do the storm. We can do all right. This is the one we wrote with Corey Lee Barker. This is not the one we wrote with Corey. Like I said,
This is the first song we wrote.
it's the first song we wrote.
Right.
Welcome to the life of Bill.
Brian, we are like this all the time.
Oh, you guys are great. That's awesome. Hey, let's just do the same thing we did last time and just listen to the song, because as everybody can now tell, the harmony and the sound and the song is amazing. So I'd hate for you to miss that with just, technical difficulties. So just listen to the storm in its best recorded sound.
God Almighty, Lord of mercy, this is what I bring. A life that's broken, a heart in pieces, kneeling at your feet. I am your child, you are my Father. Your love for me so deep. Through these trials, you never leave me. My heart is yours to keep. When all my strength is gone, I will seek you. Seek you. I believe your word is true. I will find you in the middle of the storm. I feel your presence shine all around me as you take my hand, and then you lead me upon the waters through the shifting sand. When all my strength is gone, I will seek you. Seek you, Lord. I believe your word is true. I will find you in the middle of the storm.
Man, that's fantastic, y'all.
Thank you.
Well, is there any other final words you want to put out to the folks that will hear this?
Encouragement is so important. You know, we love to know. We love to know. You know, are we reaching you? Are the words that the Lord is giving us? Is the music? Is the harmony? Is what we're doing blessing you? Let us know. Not for us, not for our ego, but rather to keep us focused. Help to keep us focused on the track that we're supposed to be on. And that's it. We love what we do so much.
Yeah.
And we love doing it together so much. We've been doing it so long, we take for granted how long we've been doing it.
Right.
But we love it, and
thank you for reaching out to us
awesome.
and inviting us to do this.
Oh, man, my pleasure for that part. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, folks, I mean, goodness, go to Kane and Kelly Facebook page and let them know how amazing their lyrics and music are. If they touch you at all. I mean, I don't like fluff. I don't like oh, you're just so, I don't like that. But if God touches you with their music, man, reach out and let them know, because we definitely want them hanging around until the tour bus comes.
I love you, man. I love you.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. I so appreciate your time, and I know you're busy, and life is always running for everybody, but thanks for stopping by and saying hey.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. Until next week, looking forward to seeing you again on the Chap Chat podcast.